Hello there, sword friends. I have another exciting package to open today, and I thought you might want to join in the fun. It's another custom sword, and I have not opened it yet, but another custom piece made by Josiah Boomershine. It's a longer blade, almost an katana, and I really haven't gotten to see any pictures of how it looks or what it. Yeah, I have an idea in my head of what it's going to look like, but the design and all that on this one was a little, I don't know, up in the air. So. Yeah, I think I have a mental picture of what it's going to be, but I don't really know if it's going to work out. The problem that I ran into is when I ordered the sword, I kind of had this idea for doing gray Tsunami Ito, but there wasn't any gray Tsunami Ito left. And I wanted to do something a little different, and the fittings kind of had a greenish, grayish look to them, so I didn't want to do an olive green sword. I have one already on my wall, and black seemed just a little too simple, and so I wanted to have a little bit of flavor to go with the fittings. And so it's supposed to have a silky, kind of darkish green Ito and some gloss and some character to it, but I guess we'll have to see if my mental picture is doing it justice. So without further ado, I'm going to open up this sword, this S word right here, and we'll see. Okay. Make sure there's nothing else in that there box over there. Looks like it's just fine though. Okie dokie. So in terms of shipping a custom sword, you can see wrapped in the bubble wrap here. Now you might ask why newspaper. This is fresh lacquer under here. I can smell it, and the fresh lacquer will stain or smudge pretty easily. Newspaper generally has a pretty fine grain to it, and it tends to not blemish the lacquer. The little paper towel up here is just to avoid staining the Ito. So first off, ooh, so sexy. So not olive green, but kind of a it is an olive green on camera as I see it, but it has a little bit, it's brighter and duller at the same time, but the silk is really crisp, and it goes with these kind of green, gray, silver colored Fujikasho just really well. I like that inherently as I look at this, my eye is not drawn to any one particular thing. You can maybe make the Manuki out ever so gracefully underneath here. Just real stellar, super tight, just kind of like you'd expect. And then black Samegawa. The Suba is that antique one that I got some time ago. Swirly Mitsudomes abound. Now this sword is actually my size, so it might be one that I end up hanging on to. Oh my, how pretty is that? Oh, so pretty. So the Samegawa on here is not sanded flat intentionally. That's not what I was going for. So what you can see just barely here, this is the seam, and you can kind of make it out a little bit, but not a lot. Lacquer's a little heavier over here, but that aids in the kind of transition. And you do feel the Samegawa right here. Again, it's not sanded. It has a texture, so when I grip it, it's sanded kind of flat, but not terribly flat. And so it still has a texture. It's not bumpy, so it won't like rip at your hands or anything. But it has a texture to it, as where a lot of saya with Samegawa have this, have them sanded and then kind of line up right with the gloss. I wanted to do something just a little bit different, and that's because I didn't want the little white nodules to show up so much. But I wanted Samegawa on here something just a little different. And then there is gloss here. Gloss shows the fingerprints pretty easy, but it just seemed to fit well. The fittings are really glossy here. This antique Suba is, also got a little bit of a sheen to it. And then Oh, that's packaging tape. And then the saya, which you might be able to see in the right light here, is that there's little alabaster crystals in here. They're real subtle. They get a little heavier towards the towards the koigiri, but ever so slightly, you can probably notice a little bit of sparkle in here. The alabaster sparkles kind of pink and purple and green, and that's what I was going for. I didn't want the saya to have a whole lot of bling. I was going for something just a little bit simpler, and I think that came out real nice. The transition's a little odder than I expected, but I knew it would have a ridge, and I'm pretty happy. The lacquer's a little thick around here, but what I don't feel is a ledge, so my hand as I'm moving around or grabbing the saya isn't going to catch on anything. Yeah, overall, just real pretty. Wow. Okay. All right. Now, oh, so habaki, had this put on there as well. It's a silver habaki, silver seppa. Really happy with how the transitions came out. Habaki has a pretty cool pattern on it. Oh wow. Now this is a big damn sword. There's no questioning that. This is a big, and I think it's a 31-inch blade. 31 inches is measured from the tip here to kind of the base here, but doesn't really include the habaki. So 32 inches. But man, wow. I mean, for how big this, I did not expect it to feel this good. I mean, it's stout and hefty in the hand, but it doesn't really want to jump out of my hands either. This feels stellar. Stellar. If you haven't seen the blade, I have a video about this project. I'll do some updating with better photos and such. But how the Suba came out, man. It feels great. It feels amazing, and it looks stellar. Wow. All right, now I have to decide if I'm going to keep this thing or sell it. But given that it's the right size for me and kind of made for me, I might just have to hang on to this one. Ooh. Yeah, real pretty. Okay. That is all I have for you, sword friends. I hope you found it mildly entertaining. This is just a quick video. I will follow it up with some better photos and whatnots of the sword and such. But really, that's all I got for you. Cheers, and thanks for watching.